So if you clicked on this video, you're either a subscriber, you know, a homeboy, of course, shout out to my subscribers, shout out to the homeboys, or you are terrible at this game. Let's be honest, you're probably terrible and you want to get better, and that's okay. You know what? This video is for you to get better at this game, get better at hitting. You know, hitting is one of the most important things in this game. If you can't hit, you're not gonna win. You can't score any runs. You know, you can be the worst pitcher in a game imaginable. Honestly, I'm one of the worst pitchers, but I'm able to hit and I'm able to win games just by my hitting. I can score like 20 runs if I wanted to casually. You know, if you want to get good at this game, you got to be a good hitter. So this video will be teaching you how to get better at hitting. You know, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it. I make MLB The Show content, of course. I do stream. I make videos about Tyler Glasnow. You know, I make a lot of baseball videos. That's what we're called, KcBaseball. So subscribe to the channel, put your notifications on, leave a like on the video, and comment, man, what is one tip that you used and that helped you a lot, man? So I'd really appreciate if you just comment that, you know, what tip helped you the most. So we might as well just go into some hitting tips. The first hitting tip I have, it's going to be like a real life type hitting tip. It's just plate discipline. You need to be disciplined at the plate. And, you know, if you're able to work counts, of course, you're able to get into better spots, you know, better pitches, things like that. You know, you can get into a fastball count, and you know what? You're going to sit that fastball, and if he throws it in the zone, you're going to crush it. You know, if you work the counts, you're able to get, you know, into better situations, into better at bats, and you can just get on base even by just walking. You know, that's amazing. Also, if you do work the counts, if you are disciplined at the plate, you are able to lower the pitcher's confidence. The confidence, if you click R2, you'll see the confidence. It's the blue line. It's under the energy bar. You are able to lower their confidence, and the pitcher will become more wild and throw less strikes, and, you know, they'll be less accurate. So that's one of the best things to do. Lower their confidence. You know, don't swing at balls up high like Javier Baez does. You know, let those balls go. You know, don't swing at anything outside of the zone. Try and, you know, stick to things in the zone. And even then, if it's in the zone and you don't like it, don't give the pitcher extra confidence and swing and miss. Because if you swing and miss, that's going to give them more confidence. If you just, you know, let the strike go, it's just going to give them a little bit of confidence, and that's okay. You know, you just got to be disciplined at the plate. Don't make terrible swings. Don't swing at things in the dirt and, you know, things outside like Javier Baez, like I said. Just, you know, be disciplined at the plate. That is one of the biggest things I can tell you, because if you're not disciplined, you're going to be swinging at balls in the dirt and you're going to ground out, or you're just going to strike out all the time. So that is one thing you need to be worried about. The next tip is your PCI. I'm not going to be showing you the PCI that I have. I have a video on that. If you want to go click the link, I'd really appreciate it, man. Video is almost at 3K, probably already at 3K when you're watching this, when this video is uploaded. But you know, that video, one of the best PCIs in this game, I think. You know, it's one of the best PCIs. I've helped many people with it. You know, try and find a PCI for you, or just use the PCI that I have there. So go, you know, click that link if you want to go see that PCI, and then come back to the video, of course. One of the best PCIs in the game. After that, the next tip I have is, you know, being light on the PCI. When I mean being light on the PCI, I don't mean just, you know, having no control and just barely touching the left stick. What I mean is try and have enough grip, but also don't be too hard on the stick, because you're going to be pulling down the PCI a ton. If you pull down the PCI, you're going to be missing a lot of big pitches. Let's say there's a pitch that's down the middle and you drop your PCI because you're too hard on the stick. That is not good. You want to have the most comfortable feeling on the stick as possible. Control freaks can help you a ton. I don't have control freaks, but I'm very comfortable using the PS5 controller on the left stick, of course. But if you're able to just have that nice mixture of lightness, but also a good amount of grip on the left stick, you will have a lot less of a chance of, you know, pulling your PCI up or down, or, you know, to the side or whatever, which is very, very good. Because if you pull your PCI, you know, you may pop up, you may swing and miss at a pitch that's right for you, and you may not get that pitch again. So pulling your PCI is one of the worst things to do. So, you know, try and just stay light on the left stick. Just try not to pull that PCI, and just feel comfortable on your left stick. My next tip is to recognize what your opponent is throwing you. So let's say your opponent is throwing you a lot of, you know, sliders first pitch. You know, try and sit slider, and if you don't like the sliders that he's throwing you, maybe, you know, let those first pitches go, and, you know, look for a fastball count, or look for another pitch. You know, or let's say you know, your opponent, he decides, you know, to throw strikes, you know, first 2 pitches, you know, straight strikes, you know, maybe a fastball, maybe a curveball, whatever. And then, you know, the next couple of pitches, he starts to nibble around the zone. You know, try and attack early, try to recognize what your opponent is doing, try to know the strategies of your opponent. It's a very good thing to know, because if you do not adjust to your opponent, he can dominate you. If, let's say he's just throwing a bunch of high end fastballs, if you cannot adjust to that, if you cannot, you know what, I gotta, you know, be ready for the high and in, I gotta be ready for the low curve or whatever, then, you know, you're not gonna be successful. You need to adjust to what your opponent is throwing you at all times. You need to just look out for everything. You gotta watch for his repetitions and things like that. So, you know, just watch out and recognize what your opponent is throwing. That's one of the most important tips I can give you. Then the next tip I have is recognizing a pitch. It's a little bit different from the previous tip. It's pretty much, you know, let's say, you know, your opponent is throwing you a slider. You can try and tell, you know, how the slider's coming in. You can tell the slider's coming a lot slower, and it also has some break movement to the side. Or you can see the curveball, it goes up and then down. You can see the changeup, it's a lot slower, and it starts to have that late break. You need to be able to tell what the pitcher is throwing out the hand. You need to, it's like real life, honestly, just learning what is coming out the hand and seeing how the pitch is moving. You can tell what's hard, what's soft, and things like that. That's what she said, by the way. Anyways, you know, just try and learn, you know, what the pitcher is throwing. Recognize the pitches that are coming at you, and, you know, like, you know, you can see a knuckleball, it's moving in the air like it's fucking, I don't know, it's fucking just flying everywhere, you know? You got to recognize the pitch, you got to recognize what is coming at you, and you need to know what is being thrown. The next tip I have is for you just to practice, man. Practicing makes perfect. Of course, if you practice, you will get better. And now with the custom practice that they have now, they've improved it a ton to where you can pick the pitch that you would like to work on. Let's say you suck at hitting high and in fastballs, you are now able to pick that pitch, the specific pitch where you want it, and you can work on hitting that. You go into your regular routine, you know, you move your PCI around, and then you start, you know, hitting the high and in fastball, trying to get better at timing it and things like that. So now you're able to just practice and get better at the game. And they've improved custom practice to the point where you're able to have situations and you're able to just pick whatever pitch you would like to work on and things like that, which is very, very good. Practicing in this game is a lot easier than before, and you get to learn how to get better. Like always, my suggestion is to practice on Legend or Hall of Fame difficulty before you get into a game. Let's say you're on Hall of Fame, practice on Legend. If you're an all-star player, practice on Hall of Fame so you can be better at the game. And especially, you know, before a game, maybe, you know, warm up, you know, 15 minutes or so just to get warmed up and to get hot, you know what I mean? So practice makes perfect. You need to practice at hitting. Custom practice is one of the best things to do on this game. And then my final tip, it has to be timing. Timing is so important. If you're just on the late side of good, you can have the best PCI placement of all time, and that ball will go nowhere. You need to have timing. You need to know what pitches are coming. You need to put it all together and just be on the ball. If you're on a TV, it's going to be harder to time up the baseball. I understand that. But, you know, if you're on a monitor, it should be a lot easier to time up the baseball. Just, you need to know when the ball's coming out the hand. You need to know when to swing at it. You know, you need to start getting ready to swing like in the middle if you really want to swing. It's kind of like real life. You should probably know when to swing. It just has that instinct. But timing is very important, because if you're on the late side of good, or if you're really early on a pitch, it's a GG. You're not getting a hit most of the time. Of course, you know, there's bloopers and things like that happen, because that's baseball. You got to understand that. It's just, you know, it's a lot better to be on time. And if you get those perfects, the ball is going to fly. I think it's 80% rate that you will get a hit or a homer even off the perfect. So it's really important to get your timing on point. If your timing is on point, it will be one of the best things possible for you. Getting your timing on is like really important. It's even better than getting your PCI on the ball, because honestly, I've seen guys have their PCI in the dirt and just have good timing and the ball goes out. So just have good timing. It's one of the most important things, and you'll be successful at this game once you have it. And those are pretty much all my tips on how to hit better on MLB The Show 21. If you want a pitching tips video, you probably should go subscribe to my guy Soxeem. I think he should probably make a pitching tips video soon. He's one of the best pitchers I've seen on this game, so go subscribe to him. You know, ask him questions on how to get better at pitching. One of the best pitchers I know, so go subscribe to him. He's one of the better pitchers I know. So if you want pitching tips, go to him. And if you enjoyed this video, of course, leave a like, you know, drop a comment, and, you know, subscribe to the channel, put your notifications on. I make MLB The Show content, of course, baseball content in general, though. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you got better, you know, leave it in the comments, of course. Go subscribe to my guy Soxim if you want to learn how to get better at pitching. You know, leave a comment on one of his videos and ask him how you can get better. Even ask him if he can make a pitching tips video. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And, yeah, peace.